Okay, so we are experiencing a little bit of a recovery on a daily at the time of recording this video, but the question is, can we trust this little pump? Okay, because many times we have seen such scenario, and then after that we had a further dump. Okay, so the question is, can we trust it or not? All right, obviously if I'm going to look at everything pretty much on a daily is pumping. All right, top 100 and probably top 200. By the way, let me know if you guys been mining pi through your phone. I know that my friend did, but he somehow lost, or they don't allow him even to enter his wallet anyways. Guys, my name is Luke, and let's get the party started. Remember that this video is not financial advice, and subscribe to the channel if you find this video valuable. And now guys, let's have a look at Kaspa, shall we? So what Kaspa did in the last 24 hours, we had 4.6% of the upside for Kaspa. Volume is at 65.6 mil and market cap at 2.3 billion USD. If it comes to Kaspa being mined, well, I believe we are going to reach number 90 very soon, which is definitely bullish from the long-term perspective. Okay, now guys, well, let's look at not so positive news. Okay, because I'm not going to lie, we don't have a lot of positivity. Okay, sentiment is really low, but potentially that could be very bullish thing, and that's because usually when most of the retail is scared, it's probably the best time to actually enter the market, just like I actually entered when Solana was at $8, right? When everybody was shitting on it, I capitalized on it. But anyways guys, let me not digress further, and let's cover 25th of February, which was yesterday. Almost 1 billion of outflows for BTC. Okay, we've got 539.62 and all of this, right? But guys, also remember that this is not BlackRock, sorry, Larry Fink through BlackRock that's selling this. Is just a retail that's selling through BlackRock. Okay, your grandmas, grandpas, your taxi drivers, so on and so forth, people that have no clue how to use these exchanges. Okay, because obviously they put much more trust towards these financial instruments, right? Let's call them that way. Anyways guys, Ethereum. Okay, what's happening for Ethereum? The same thing, negativity. Okay, if it comes to Ethereum, we know what's happening at the moment, guys, right? If Ethereum is not going to see the major pump, we are not going to see pump for Kaspa. How simple is that, right? So let's go into the technicals, guys. I know that you want to have a look at Kaspa, I know, but let's first of all have a look at BTC. Quick analysis on BTC, and let's see what we can expect from Kaspa, basically an overall market. Okay, so everybody is shaking here. I know everybody was shaking. Okay, I wasn't even looking at my portfolio because it hurts temporarily. Bitcoin dipped to 85k. However, I want you to notice that here we do have previously traded, Bitcoin was previously traded in here, and we have clear confirmation of a previous support. Okay, so the price haven't really did the whoopsie doopsie and went below this level. Okay, that kind of makes me feel temporarily bullish. All right, because we are bouncing back on a daily, as you can clearly see. This candle, let me get out of this arrow, this candle in here is bouncing. Okay, so the question is this the start of something that we could call a recovery? Well, I guess it's a little bit too early to say, right? However, one thing that I want you to notice is that if I'm going to switch this chart to the weekly, well, probably the first thing is that look at the RSI. Perhaps it's going to go into the bullish cross territory. It still haven't did it. Of course, guys, I'm not saying that we are going to see the major pump, right? But now we do have two areas of confluence, and potentially we could bounce, right? Also, one thing to notice is that if I'm going to pull out Fibonacci retracement on a weekly time frame, let me actually put it in here. Let me just move this a little bit. Okay, so we've got our retracement tool, and well, we could argue that it's here. Okay, so that was the previous top, okay, in which many people were basically crying and calling for the bear cycle, right? So you see that we had obviously retested the areas of 50 and then 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, right? Which obviously it's quite important level, right? And now in here, let's say that this previous candle in here ignited the previous pump, right? The one that we just experienced, right? So now this one roughly, of course, let me actually do it one more time. This one roughly is showing us that we could see almost the end of that let's say pullback for BTC. I'm not saying that we are going to see bounce right away, but maybe this is almost the area of kind of finishing this max pain, right? So 61.8 Fibonacci retracement zone, which it doesn't have to dip into, right? But it's definitely likely potentially could be let's say already priced in. I mean 50% could be priced in, and if that would happen, okay, that would be level of how much for BTC? 82,000. Well, we have dipped to 85. Okay, so I do believe that this little dive wouldn't really do that bad, okay, because it did previously happen. Okay, we've been trading for a little bit, right? However, now sentiment is really bad, right? Because during this consolidation time for BTC, guys, I know you probably want to watch Kaspa, right? But of course you have to remember that liquidity goes through BTC and then later it goes towards Kaspa, right? Nobody's going to pump your Kaspa because everybody is sitting in Kaspa anyways, right, at the moment. Okay, so the money has to flow through BTC. Okay, I digressed a little bit, but guys, in this area in general, we've been waiting for Trump to become a president and all of these, you know, bullish catalysts and all of that, right? So it was a little bit let's say you know, bullish moment, right? In here we are basically experiencing that capitulation from Bybit and these meme coins, Solana, you know, and all of this connected, right? So I do believe that once well, once this daily candle is going to close, let's say bullish, right, at the moment everything is pointing towards that fact, I will be more bullish, let's say, and I will be more positive. And don't get me wrong, guys, I am positive in general. I believe that we are in a bull cycle, especially for altcoins. Okay, I do believe that Bitcoin is going to do another leg up. Difficult to say of how much. However, I do believe that you know, sooner or later that liquidity is going to flow into Kaspa. Okay, I know probably you're crying for Kaspa, so let's have a look at Kaspa, okay, because I know that your attention span is not the best. Okay, so first of all, guys, since I'm on a weekly time frame in here, let me get out of this. Okay, I want this chart to kind of be as clear as possible, right? So we've got just a couple of lines in here, and now, ladies and gents, we do have a clear, let's say, trend line that previously, you know, Kaspa was traded in, right? And weekly confirmation in here roughly. We've got some of the confirmations in here, obviously, right? And now obviously Kaspa dipped to these levels, and that was kind of a scary time. Well, not mentioning about these scary times, nonetheless, guys, it would definitely gonna be much more bullish for Kaspa if we are going to go above this line and we are going to trade above 12 cents, right? Whoopsie doopsie. Of course, you know, in this particular occasion scenario in which BTC and, you know, all of the negativity is coming from people from retail mostly, well, only from retail actually, and Bybit and Solana meme coin collapse, basically, I do believe that this is quite understandable, right? I know what you might probably say over there. I see it too. We could also argue that Kaspa also has another trend line here. So if Kaspa would lose this level, okay, we could potentially argue that this is very strong level of support in here, right? We could also cut it let's say this way, all right? And we could also argue that Kaspa already retested this trend line, right? Nonetheless, guys, this is very important level in here, and I do believe that at all costs we cannot lose this level of a support for our beloved Kaspa, right? Because even if I'm going to put, you know, horizontal line in here, we can clearly see that there is a clear level of support in here for our beloved Kaspa, right? That will be 5 cents. I know that some people are calling 5 cents. I don't personally think that is going to happen, but heck, you know, it's so difficult to predict, you know, these situations on the market, right? Because, you know, one negative catalyst, like for example Bybit or a Solana meme coin collapse, it could potentially, you know, cascade this market towards the downside, right? But of course, guys, I don't want to sound bearish, okay? I'm just letting you know what is the kind of medium term thesis, well, scenario for Kaspa. I believe that we have to close above this pinkish line. Okay, so let me get out of these horizontal lines, okay, because as I've mentioned, I want this chart to be as clear as possible. Okay, so now to conclude weekly very quickly, we've got a bullish cross on stochastic RSI, which obviously is a good thing, and now we are actually holding this level of 9.9 cents 0.09, sorry, as a support, right? Bulls has push this price towards the upside. And now daily, guys, right? Let's go towards you know, daily, right? What's going on with daily, right? We do have a bounce, okay? That's obviously a good thing. And now 4 hourly, let's have a look at 4 hourly, okay? 4 hourly could potentially push us back and maybe even retest these levels over here, because if I'm going to put let's say 4 hourly in here, we potentially could see you know, some grabbing some liquidity in here at 0.08 for Kaspa, given the fact that what is going on in here, right? That's definitely possible in my personal opinion. KDub is pointing this out, but of course Colin, I'm pretty sure that you remember, he pointed out something about M2. So listen up, right? The blue line, the global money to supply, it has been leading BTC for about 3 months, even predicting the bottom in November 2022. The global M2 was 105 days from the peak to the next breakout after the most recent correction. If BTC follows that as it has been, that brings us to the last week of March for the next breakout. The next Fed meeting is the last week of March, and the question is, do we see end of quantitative tightening, and perhaps Powell gives some dovish remarks, right? Guys, well, again, I know that it's basically 1 month of waiting, right, for this catalyst, right? But if you are actually going to study a little bit, you know, this money supply in here, I believe that you can find correlation. Let me actually go to trading view, and let me go to BTC, right? So let me pull out some indicators, right? This is the list of indicators that I use, right? But for purposes, you can clearly see that it's called global M2 supply in USD value, right? And these are, you know, a couple of major economies, right? So now let's actually change the visibility, style. Okay, so first of all, we will do color and ticket line, right? Of course, guys, you have to play along with that setting in here, but we can you know, clearly see that these pumps for BTC, of course, and for overall crypto could potentially be predicted, right? So now if we are going to look at the 27th of January, which was, well, pretty much a month ago, we can see that we were sitting at 105 trillion 573 billion to be exact, and at the moment we are sitting at 107.9, well, almost 108 trillion dollars, right? So we've got a couple of $1 trillion that enter the circulation, hashtag M2, right? And now we will see, guys, couple of weeks, obviously this is more of a macro outlook. And now I know what you are probably thinking. You're probably thinking about Kaspa, what's happening with Kaspa short term, just in case if you would like to trade the volatility, right? Make sure that you actually check out my links below this video, and of course Tangent for the security. Shameless plug over there, but I guess it's quite important. Now, guys, let's have a look at the liquidity levels, right? So now this is 2-weekly time frame for BTC. Well, first of all, BTC, we can see that liquidity is piling up. So we've got 55 million to be made. I mean, by exchanges, I guess, right? No, sorry, 156 million, right? If BTC is going to reach 99,000, okay? So we see already that kind of correlation in here between that money to supply and liquidity, let's say, right? But of course that's 2 weekly, so that can, you know, take up to, let's say, 4 weeks. So let's again wait until March. Oh no, I don't want to say it, but I guess, you know, it is what it is, guys. Now let's have a look. This is 24 hourly Binance liquidity, okay? So guys, 0.008, right? But funny enough is that if I'm going to look at Kaspa, I've drawn this line in here, and we've got clear confirmations of Kaspa being traded previously. So this is what, another kind of area of confluence. Of course, we've got it in here. I can, you know, simply move it here, here, and here, obviously, right? So guys, I'm not going to say that Kaspa is going to go into, you know, towards these prices, because of course something could happen, but you know, based on this quick analysis, I do believe that this is possible, and that will be another pain of 10%. Guys, if you want to trade this volatility, again, you know what to do. Sign up with my links, of course, no pressure, totally up to you. Now guys, we can consider this also as some form a bear flag, right? We do have some downward momentum, obviously, and then we have little local pump on a 4-hourly, which could potentially be considered as another area of you know, confluence, right? But now let's actually have a look at different things, which is obviously Bitcoin's dominance, which we all want to finally drop. Oh my goodness, right? First of all, this is 4-hourly. Let's actually not look at 4-hourly. Let's go towards daily time frame, right? Well, daily time frame actually shows us some hopium, okay? It's because we've got the drop in here, okay? And this is obviously something good to see. The drop was basically from what, 61.8% up to, well, down to 60.97, and now obviously we do have a little bit of a you know, pump if it comes to the dominance, right? But again, I would like to remind that sooner or later this thing is going to go down. I mean, the stochastic RSI, right? Whoopsie doopsie. And at this point, I believe that altcoins are going to see some relief rally. Okay, we can also see that you know, this candle is basically little to no body at the moment, and we've got a huge wick, right? What does it mean? The dominance is basically being pushed down towards the downside. And also, guys, we do have inverse correlation with others, right, which obviously is a chart that we are desperately waiting for you know, to pump to, basically, right? So guys, I remain bullish long term. Short term, we could see another pain. Okay, we could, of course, anything can happen. I believe that now is that, you know, last people are pretty much leaving the market, right? Not a lot of retail here, because guys, if you are going to leave Kaspa or anything, I don't blame you. Okay, I guess I'm a type of a degen because I'm looking into these technicals, right, and I try to kind of find answers over there. But if you are going to leave, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Many people are basically capitulating, right? But remember that this is something that they want you to feel. Guys, I hope this helps. Peace and love, crypto.